Hello and welcome into another video, and today is, I know I say this a lot because a lot of videos are weird, but a lot of things in my life are weird, but this is one where the video title is essentially one theft leading to another, and micro machines, when I can actually speak, this is an absolutely great start to the video to suggest that this is going to be absolutely fine. I'm not going to be slurring or struggling or stuttering or anything at all. Nope, not at all. It's going to get better from here. I used to play the ever-living shit out of Micro Machines as a kid. Loved them on the Amiga, loved them on the Super Nintendo, and then it came out for the PlayStation, Micro Machines V3, and this was one of my all-time favourite games as a kid. I played it so fucking obsessively, it's unbelievable, to the point of that now I'm struggling to even remember what I actually did, like where to go and all that, because I always thought this was overly complicated for the sake of it. It was a novel idea where you're driving essentially around the menu screen, but anyway, I played the crap out of it, and my, at the time, best friend also loved it and got into it, and we had a sleepover round his one night, and anyone who has potentially seen any other videos that I've mentioned where I've got PTSD, what sleepover means is I just didn't sleep. Ever. So he went to bed, and I had nothing to do, and I managed to set up the PlayStation. I tried not to actually wake him up or anything, because at the end of the day it was my fault that I couldn't sleep. Well, I say my fault, I didn't choose to get hit by a fucking car, but it was my problem, not his. So I was trying not to wake him up, and eventually it got to the point where it was like 5 in the morning, and it was daylight, and I was so fucking bored and wished that I had anything at all to do, because I'd just lay there the entire night not sleeping. So I put Micro Machines on, and I was actually so close to unlocking the final, like, vehicles in the game. I'd put an obscene amount of fucking time in it. I truly had done. I'd put so much time into playing the game, getting so good at all the tracks and perfecting it and unlocking everything, and he had way less stuff than me. Like, way less stuff than me. He owned the game as well, he played it a ton, but I'd managed to get every last fucking unlock, finally, while he slept, basically. Because I was already close. I was only, I think, 3 vehicles away. And I finally managed to get them. And I was over the moon, and we got up, and we played the game and everything, and eventually, I managed to crash. It hit, like, maybe 9 AM, and I managed to fall asleep for all of 2 hours. And when I woke up, he was playing on the game, and he was using all of the cars that I knew for a fact he didn't have, and I'm like, oh, that must still be my memory card. But then I looked over, and he'd actually put my memory card on the bedside cabinet, essentially. He'd put it there for me to collect, and I'm like, why is my memory card there, but you're using cars that I know for a fact you don't have? And it's like, oh yeah, I'll just copy your save data. And it's like, okay, without even asking. It's like, well, yeah, it's just save data. It's like, that's not the issue. The issue is you did it without asking. Like, you're my best friend. I would have most definitely said you could do this, you know? I would have been absolutely fine with you doing it, just asking. It's all about consent at the end of the day. Obviously, a lot of words were not actually said, and I ended off just not saying anything. But this was everything that the internal dialogue was going through. But then I got into the I'm going to exact vengeance mode. So after he'd stolen my save data, I made sure, as I was leaving, to pocket his memory card, go home, delete the save data, which then meant he had absolutely nothing because he'd erased his own save file, but I figured that's on him. And at the end of the day, I knew he was going to get my save data back, but after I'd taught him this valuable lesson of don't fucking steal things without asking. So he immediately comes around, is incredibly pissed off. How dare you steal my memory card? And it's like, yeah, funny how that works, isn't it? Now that something you've been stolen from, you know? And it's like, well, what have you done with it? Give him it back. He went home, came back within another 10 minutes. So where's the save data? It's like, well, it's still on my memory card, clearly. I deleted it from yours. Now, how we're going to play this is, you're going to ask me, do you mind if you copy your save data? You're going to then present your memory card after I tell you my decision, and I'm going to go away, and I'm going to copy the save data, and we're going to not so much forget this ever happened, but we're going to remember this life lesson. This is stuff, by the way, that I said. The first one was the inner monologue thing of, I knew I wanted to see it, but I thought, no, if I see it now, then I'm never going to get that memory card. I have to play this off like I I'm fine with it now to be able to actually do this. So I was saying at this point, you're going to ask me for permission, you're going to ask me for the save data, I'm going to go upstairs, I'm going to copy your save data, and then, well, my save data onto your memory card, and then I'm going to give you the memory card back, and you're going to remember this in the future to not fucking steal things and to not do things without asking. Because, you know, again, basic fucking decency of asking someone who's supposed to be your friend instead of just fucking stealing from them. So, yeah, we did all of that. He got the point. He actually finally understood, and he's like, you still need to apologize. And it's like, yes, I will apologize for stealing your memory card after you apologize first. Again, do you see how this works here? You did all of this. You started this, so you apologize first, you then ask permission for the save data, I apologize for stealing the card, and as my penance for saying sorry, I'm going to allow you to have the save data. And yeah, it was one of those kids being kids moment. It most definitely was, but I'm the autistic kid, he was not, and I definitely had morals and a sense of right and wrong, and again, he was my best friend. I would have fucking given him the save data instantly the moment he asked, and he knows that, and that's why it pissed me off that instead of asking, instead of just leaving things and then going, oh, right, oh, before you go, would you mind if I copy your save data, like a normal fucking person, it's like, oh, they're asleep now, I'll steal it real quick. That's the thing that fucked me off with it, you know? That's the thing that I was like, I'm not letting this go without some form of lesson being taught here, because otherwise this shit will just keep fucking happening. So yeah, weird story, short story, and I wish it was the only thieving story I had. Unfortunately, it's not. I like my original Pokemon games, Red and Blue, I wanted to actually keep my original Blastoise, and the fact that they've made ways for you to be able to do that with Pokemon Home these days and to be able to take things from the original cartridges, I really wanted to be able to do that. Even though I didn't know any of that was going to be possible, I kind of wanted to keep my cart, but unfortunately, same friend and next door neighbour came round one day, carts disappeared, never found out which one of them actually took it, have assumptions, and not the one who'd already took the memory card, because again, we'd actually had that conversation, and it's like, he actually asked to borrow Pokemon Red at one point, and I said, literally, I can't, I'm pretty sure the next door neighbour stole it, and he's like, ah, that's pretty shitty then, and he actually tried to go around his, trying to find if he could find any evidence of it, but he never could. So, yeah, it's just, unfortunately, some stuff has definitely been stolen, and it sucks, because I always wanted to keep that Blastoise, and I never got to do any comeuppance of that one with a neighbour or anything, but at least that former best friend did learn a very harsh lesson of, maybe I shouldn't just take things without asking. And yeah, again, it was kids being kids, and it's not exactly dire straits or anything, it's not exactly, like, huge stakes or anything where the gold bullion was stolen or any shit like that. It was save data, which some people might even consider, can you even steal digital goods? But then there's the whole thing around corporations out there saying that because a game's digital, you don't really own it, you're licensing it, and then people obviously argue back with, well, does that mean that piracy isn't? You know, it's this whole thing that people still haven't figured out with digital. But as far as I'm concerned, he took my physical memory card first, because he did. He then put it into his console. He then transferred save data that was mine onto his memory card, so he still did have to do multiple actions here of actually taking things from me, you know? So it wasn't just the digital save data, it was the actual taking of the memory card first as well. So yeah, it was, again, not huge stake stuff, and stuff that most people may not even see as real stealing or anything, but at the same time, I'm actually glad that it was something small like that, because if it had been bigger, maybe we wouldn't have been able to resolve it the way that we actually resolved it, you know, by just talking like humans and explaining to him where he'd fucked up and why not to do that ever again, because it was shitty. But anyway, video's over now, and I'm going to say, yeah, if you have ever had anything stolen from you, hopefully you managed to get it back. If not, it kind of sucks, and there's nothing that anyone can really do about it, but I guess mention below what it was that was stolen, what was actually taken from you. Maybe it was something digital like that, maybe someone literally stole a Pokemon from you or something, because I brought Pokemon up, because I did know of stories of that happening at school, where people had tricked people into doing trading and essentially stole Pokemon, and I was like, so first up, I'm never ever going to trade with any of these fuckers at school, and second up, people are really that sad and desperate to do that? Like, it was weird. But yeah, anyway, video's over, and Micro Machines still slaps. I really wish they made games like these anymore. Like, hell, maybe I just want a racing game where I actually choose the course and can just drive instead of, you know, going into an open world. And that just seems to be what every fucking racing game is these days. It just seems to be open world things. And as much as people absolutely rave about the Forza Horizon games, I like being able to put a racing game on, pick a track, or pick a cup, or pick a tournament, and just race. None of this driving to the track. None of this, here, drive on 70 boring roads to get to the one road that we hope will actually come off as a racing track more than the others. You know, yeah, that's a rant for a different video. And anyway, I already said I was going to finish this ages ago, so I've been Sky Fellowship. Truly do hope you have a great rest of your day. And until next time, bye!